Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test.
Test, test. You got me?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Loud and clear.
Get you good. All right. 30 seconds. Guess we will go on at the 5-minute mark.
But Mike did give the go-ahead for the Saturday fundraiser charity game.
Yeah, I heard about it. So the district is the night before?
Yeah. And
it's all going to be here. That's here, and then the charity game's here too?
The charity game's at Great Crossing.
Oh.
And they'll have uniforms, and we'll get rosters.
I was going to say, we'll need numbers.
We'll have a lineup of people to talk, and we're really just plugging the GoFundMe page type thing. So
cool.
It should raise about $30,000.
That's nice.
Very nice. Good gracious.
3, 2. Welcome, everybody, to Scott County High School on the 25th Annual Toyota Classic. We're going to start off Friday night at the Classic with a big one, the one that the fans of the girls' programs have been waiting for all season. It's the Scott County Lady Cardinals with a record of 13-5 going up against the Great Crossing Lady Warhawks. They are 8-9, but certainly have played more impressively than that record indicates. A lot of subplots to this game. Derek Varney, I'm Cal Oakes. We're here to bring it to you. And Derek, what are you expecting tonight? Scott County, the team with obviously the experience advantage, but Great Crossing has shown they can hang in there with some tough opponents.
First thing, you and I better pay attention because of the intensity and the speed of this game. We've seen both teams and had both teams. And, of course, when you have girls at Great Crossing who played for Coach Helton and, of course, their head coach, Glenn Wilson, you see a lot of similarities. And when you see a lot of similarities, they're going to try to rush each other up tonight. I think it's just going to be very high octane and very exciting. I've been looking forward to this for the last week and a half when we've been talking about it. And especially you see the crowd filing in now for a 5:30 Friday night game.
These are, there are 250-ish basketball teams in the state of Kentucky, and these two teams both in the top 15 in scoring, I believe, coming in to this weekend. Scott County is second or third, and Great Crossing, when they had a 6-game winning streak not long ago, was averaging in the neighborhood of 80 to 90 points a game during that run. Obviously an emotional game, as Glenn Wilson, the coach for Great Crossing, was an assistant for 21 years on the Scott County staff. In fact, Scott County coach Steve Helton will tell you that Glenn preceded him. He coached with Tara for a couple of years before Steve took over the program, while Steve was still coaching with Coach Hicks on the boys'
That's
side.
Right.
So obviously, I talked to both coaches about this during the year. Glenn says, well, there have been times I've been getting ready to coach a practice, and I'm looking around and saying, okay, where's Steve, where's Tara? They're not coming. And he's like, oh, yeah, I had a little flashback there. Talked to Steve Helton last night, and he said, look, it's obviously an emotional night. Glenn's going to be my brother after this, no matter what. He always will be. He said it's going to be interesting, but it's not going to be fun. That was his assessment. I don't think he's been necessarily looking forward to this matchup, but obviously the first of at least 2 and could be 3 this year.
Same with the boys. They could face each other. Obviously they're not going to in this one, but yes, two to possibly 2 to 3 more times they could. But yes, again, emotion. Emotion's huge in a game like this, and as a coach, you know what, Coach Wilson and Coach Helton can take the emotion out of themselves. It's about getting the emotion, the right emotion in your girls, and where they're not running helter-skelter and not turning the ball over and playing into the other team's hands. So I think you're going to see a little strategy tonight because they do both know each other so well.
Two interesting teams. If you look at their schedules, I think it's fair to say that both teams have done a wonderful job beating the teams below them, the teams that they should beat. Not so much the teams that are in that upper echelon. I know Steve Helton is waiting for a signature win from his girls. They played Ryle very tough, the defending state champions. Came down to free throws, basically, they couldn't make throughout the night. Great Crossing has played a monster schedule this year. They had a 6-point game against Franklin County, had a rematch last week. They were down 31, closing all the way back to 12 points in the fourth quarter. So they're a team that doesn't quit. Just played Simon Kenton the other day and kind of fell behind the 27-4, something like that right off the bat. Closed that one back up to about a dozen before they lost by 20. Been in there with some heavyweight teams, to say the least. Scott County probably has the edge, given the big three of Morgan DeFore, Malaya Williams, and Kennedy Tompkins and their experience. But you think, what's your scenario for a Great Crossing upset?
My scenario is you can't let Morgan DeFore immediately start knocking down long threes. yes, make her shoot over top. You can't let Scott County get in you have to control this transition game, and I think both coaches are saying that to their players. Coach Wilson saying that to his, hey, do not let them get out and run. And you know what? Whoever controls the boards, because you know Malea's going to be all over the boards, and you know Kennedy's going to be all over the boards, and we've seen nothing but great things out of Reagan Barrett. She's gotten better and better, and they flat out right with McMath. They play hard.
Scott County with a come-from-behind win last night, 83-71 over Lincoln County. A lot of emotions in that game because Lincoln had ended their Scott County's unbeaten streak in this tournament last year at 18-0. But I think the perception was that was going to be the easiest game this year. It's a new starting five for Lincoln. Coach Helton knew that was a trap game with the emotions of both tonight, and then tomorrow, very likely the championship game against number 2 Simon Kenton, a team that beat Scott County during the preseason. So maybe Scott County was looking past that one. Didn't really shoot the ball well, but as you mentioned, rebounding the key, and Malaya Williams was a big factor in that one. We get the national anthem, and then we'll be back with the starting lineups. Beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by, I guess we'd call it a show chorus from Scott County. What I like about this game, Derek, is this is the first time all year I have absolutely no notes in front of me. Don't need them for this. Got a score sheet and that's it. It's a beautiful thing.
Cal, the thing about you can probably go back to about the 1986 either Scott County Cardinal team and tell us a little bit about this, even though you weren't here. So that's what I'm saying. That's a huge compliment to you. I think you and I both had both teams that we know the starters, we know who comes off the bench, and I don't think, besides the minute little notes or stats, I think we'll be fine.
I think it'll tell itself. The story will tell itself as we're getting some opening announcements here. We'll give you what we believe are the starting lineups. They will be the ones both teams have been using for a while now. For Scott County, the home team, Morgan DeFore, who 2 games ago, went over the 2,000-point mark for her career. She did that at Bryan Station the other night. She's the player to watch, had a career-high 34 against Lincoln County last night, but not far behind her on the list of headline makers for the Lady Cards is Malaya Williams. She scored the 1,000th point of her career last night, had 26 against Lincoln County to go with 14 rebounds. And the thing with her number is that's been achieved in basically 2 seasons. Malaya was kind of a role player, new to the game really, coming into high school. Hadn't played more than a year before that of organized basketball. And she has scored those 1,000 points basically in the past season and a half. Also, Kaylee Wise, Kennedy Tompkins, and Emma Price rounding out your starting lineup. DeFore and Williams, the only 2 seniors. Tompkins is a junior, Price is a sophomore, Wise is a junior. It's an all-underclass starting lineup for Great Crossing. The Lady Warhawks have the sophomore Rachel Smith, the sophomore Timothy Williams, the junior Brayley McMath. She's been the leading scorer all season long, and the spark plug. An 8th grader being introduced right now, Ava Skierman, and freshman Reagan Barrett. No seniors on the team, only 1 junior starter and 1 junior off the bench. So
I think that amazes me every time you say that. Just to see these girls out here, just the future, for Great Crossing.
Yeah, and we talked about maybe Scott County is a prohibitive favorite tonight. I don't think it'll be long, maybe even next year, where the script gets flipped real quick like.
Sure,
because Scott County is losing 2 all-time players, and Great Crossing will have, at least in theory, its whole team back. Now, of course, we're in the age of open enrollment and things like that. You do never know, but on paper, certainly Great Crossing going to be a factor here in the next 2 or 3 years.
This time next year, Cal, we could be right here talking about girls on opposite teams, from last year, from this time last year.
It's the way of the world in this day and age, and it's certainly now with the 2 high schools and kind of an open pipeline there. Those things can happen. It was interesting to see how this team that played out with these 2 teams, as Timothy Williams was obviously a fairly key player for Scott County last year after transferring from Frederick Douglass. Braylee McMath had been the backup point guard for 2 or 3 years, and if you haven't seen her, you're in for a treat. She's all of 5'1", maybe. Just throws her body around recklessly on the court. Just constant energy. I think,
to tell you the talent Scott County girls have had when they had one school, you have said, Braylee McMath as a backup for a couple of years, and then you see her play, and you're like, who in the world would be better than her? And then you look out to what Scott County's had. Absolutely. So it's just a compliment to the program that Coach Helton has had. That girls leave his team, go to another school, and they're really good. I mean, really good.
Well, you look at the backcourt they had last year: Morgan DeFore, Malia Owens, who is now at Tennessee Tech. They've had players the year before that, Peyton Riddle, who scored 1,800 points. Malia Owens had 2,300. DeFore now with 2,000 and rising. So, yeah, it's tough to crack that starting lineup. Jump ball, Malaya Williams and Reagan Barrett. Williams, the 6'4" senior. She's being recruited by Power 5 teams all over the place. Wins it to DeFore inside to Tompkins.
Immediately.
Just like that.
Cal, will go ahead and tell you the first thing that I saw, there was no handshakes at the jump ball circle. At midcourt, there were 0 handshakes. They all just kind of looked at each other.
Interesting. We'll see how Great Crossing handles the nerves here. I think it's fair to say there might be a few more on their side just because of the youth. Rachel Smith, though, no nerves there. She hits her first 3. She played at Lexington Catholic last year, been a great addition to that first-year program at Great Crossing. Now DeFore over to Price. Lady Cards trailing 3-2. Price picks up her dribble, finds Tompkins over on the right wing. Tompkins might have walked, but got away with it. Now drives. Too strong on the layup, rebounded by Timmy Williams.
Really good defense. What they're doing is Morgan DeFore has an addition to her jersey tonight, and it's Braylee McMath. That's how close she's got. She is in complete denial. You'll see when she gets rid of the ball, McMath is all over.
Williams took a scoop shot that was no good. Now Malaya Williams long on the jumper, rebounded by Rachel Smith. Little bit of adrenaline going early. There's the steal by Malaya. Over to Emma Price. Emma to the basket. Now she'll back it out. Get it to DeFore. He'll step back for a 3. Good.
Wow. That's what Great Crossing does not want right there. Morgan DeFore 1 for 1 from deep.
She hit 6 last night. She gives the Cardinals a 5-3 lead. Now McMath with DeFore on her. Fast pace as predicted. Not even 90 seconds in. McMath backs it out for a moment to the Toyota Classic decal. Now she's guarded by Tompkins. Tried to get it inside, but it was blocked by Tompkins, and now Emma Price comes away with it for Scott County.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers right there.
Price back to DeFore from deep 3, no good. Tompkins, offensive rebound, back to DeFore, drives the baseline, off, no good. Off of Ava Skillman, it will go and stay with Scott County.
Cal, what I'm noticing right now is Great Crossing has a little bit of deer in the headlights look right now. They got to get their nerves under control and play good hard defense because Scott County's getting easy looks.
Inbound to DeFore, back to Williams. Baseline jumper rolls off the rim, no good. Skierman rebound, gets it out to Timmy Williams. Now Timmy will push the issue, go end to end, take it to the basket, way off. Price rebound. Brings it back up quickly for the Lady Cardinals. She will take it to the rim. Ran into Skierman. Skierman wanted a carry, didn't get it. Now Malaya Williams from 3 up top. Off the rim, no good. Bounces around to Skierman, who gets it.
Skierman's everywhere again. She has. You can't tell she's an 8th grader.
She's the best rebounder on a team that kind of does it by committee. And now a traveling call on Reagan Barrett.
I think the size right now underneath of Kennedy and Malaya are really. Reagan Barrett, who normally the games that we have, she looks rather tall than everybody, the games that we've had before. Right now, she is average size underneath with Scott County size.
Haley Ward checks in early for Rachel Smith, who has the only 3 points for Great Crossing. Now Price from 3, right corner, no good. Rebounded by Skierman.
That's a
way
great
up ahead.
rebound.
Nice look to McMath up ahead. who missed the layup.
I think DeFore got a little bit of that, Cal.
A little bit of a piece
yes,
there.
Yes, he did.
But now a scramble, and Ward picks it up. Over to McMath, step back, jumper, good. On the line, it's a 2 to tie it. 5 to 5. I think they've given,
wow.
They gave Scott County.
There's the fast pace I'm talking about, Cal.
We're not even I didn't even have time to look up. I believe that was DeFore.
It was. DeFore went coast to coast right there with nobody.
Lord.
With great crossing, didn't even step over and defend her right
Haley
there.
Ward drives the baseline. A little contact from Emma Price. Foul. That's the first foul of the game with 4:56 remaining first quarter. 7 to 5 Scott County. Kenan Owens checks in for SC, and Emma Price will sit down. Owens, a junior, transferred to the program this year. Inbound pass to Timmy Williams. DeFore got another hand on it, but McMath recovers. Now back to
Good
Williams.
head fake.
She head faked and drove, but it's stolen away, stripped, and then picked up by Malaya Williams, who will take it end to end. Now kick back to Tompkins. Step back, but she traveled.
She didn't need to step back. She needs to go onto the bucket, take one power dribble to the free throw line there, Cal, and knock that down. And I think she's kicking herself for that one.
Everybody wants to be a three-point shooter.
They do, and she, like again, she's one of the biggest girls on the floor at 6 foot. And she can get what she wants.
That's a huge advantage for Scott County with the 2 6-foot-plus players against this great crossing team, which other than Reagan Barrett and Ava Skurman to a degree, doesn't have a lot of size. Now McMath to Timmy Williams in the corner. No, it's short. And DeFore with the rebound. She will push the tempo up between traffic. It gets partially blocked, I think maybe by Skurman.
Timmy Williams got her thing.
Timmy, they were both there.
Yes.
It was 1 against 3. And it will stay with Scott County.
Not sure how a whistle wasn't blown there, Cal. I mean, it's right down here below us.
Contact. DeFore saying she still can't believe it. Now she inbounds the ball to Kaylee Wise. Wise guarded by Stewerman, gets it to Owens. Owens drives, picks up her dribble, gets it inside to Malaya Williams, but loses it to Barrett.
That's great. That's great double team right there when Malaya Williams catches the ball and they double team her and get the steal out of it.
Timmy Williams spun around to 4, gets it to McMath. No good on the layup attempt. Wise with the rebound. A little tentative early, a lot of strong shots. And now DeFore with a 3, it's short, but Malaya Williams right there for the strong side rebound. And she dropped her shoulder or an elbow or something and got called for the offensive foul.
A little chicken wing there is what we got.
So 7 to 5, more than midway. Not the scoring pace we expected, but certainly the miles per hour pace.
Miles per hour and the shot attempts. They're getting the ball to the rim. Both teams are just kind of taking bad, I want to call them nervous shots right now.
DeFore picks the pocket of Timmy Williams. Now there's a scramble and it's tied up. And it will stay with Lady Warhawks.
Timmy Williams plays at 1 speed. You and I both know that when we see her. At this point right here, I think Coach Wilson needs to say, hey, dial it back a little bit, get an easy bucket, because what she's doing, she's about 0 for 3 from the field on rush shots and had a couple turnovers right here in this first quarter.
Timmy Williams with the new hairstyle for this game.
Yeah.
I think it's different from the one she had the other night, too. I think that's 2 in as many nights. McMath, nice pass inside to Barrett, but it's blocked, and they're going to call a foul. And if it's on Malaya Williams, no. It'll be on Kaylee Wise.
Kaylee Wise, yep.
It would have been 2 on Williams, and that could have been bad news for Scott County. That's about the only way that Scott County would be in a ton of trouble, I think, if either Williams or Tompkins got in any early foul trouble. And that's the case in any game.
Sure. Let's see if after Reagan, if she hits this second free throw, let's see if Great Crossing jumps into a press and tries to see how Scott County handles the pressure.
I didn't even have time to jinx Reagan Barrett, who is a very, very, very good free throw shooter in the 90 percentile range. Hasn't had a lot of attempts, but she makes the second.
She shot a couple in this gym.
Just a couple. In practice, certainly.
Absolutely.
7-6, and in JV games. 7-6, Scott County, 3:30 remaining first quarter. DeFore bounce pass, but it's wide of Tompkins, and we'll go to Great Crossing.
See the angle? One more dribble down here, Cal gets that to the block. It's just a bad angle for that bounce pass right there from DeFore.
Tentative first quarter as Scott County leads Great Crossing 7-6, 3:25 remaining. McMath bringing it up for the Lady Warhawks, gets it to Barrett. Barrett takes Tompkins to the hoop, no good.
It's a great
Williams tips it, and now Tompkins leads the break with DeFore. Easy layup. 7 points for DeFore out of the 9, and Scott County leads by 3.
And the thing about it is, once Morgan scores, she's got to turn around and get McMath, who is just a little water bug. She's everywhere.
McMath double dribbled there. So it turns back over to Scott County with 3:03 remaining in the first period. 9-6 your score. Scott County in front here on their home court at SCHS for the 25th annual Toyota Classic, night 3 DeFore, pull-up three-pointer, gets the shooter's roll, 12-6.
The thing about Morgan, if you notice, Cal, when she lets it go, she's Larry Burden all the way to the other end. It's almost, you know, to have confidence like that. I mean, she literally follows through and then starts backing up. In her mind, it's going in. That's what you do as a shooter.
Her level of belief in herself as both a defender and offensive player. She gets threes and she gets leak-out layups like nobody's business. She got the rebound there. Over the top, gets bounced around and off of Kaylee Wise. Great crossing.
She had a couple careless passes there. She thought she was going to squeeze that one in and thread the needle there and wasn't able to. Great crossing on the offensive end, Cal. Really struggling just to get a good look.
They made that first three with Rachel Smith, and ever since then it's been difficult. Only one field goal, and it was by McMath. Now Williams in the corner. Goes at Malaya Williams. She kicks it over to Skierman up top. Guarded by Wise. Timmy Williams goes at Malaya again. DeFore gets a hand in there. McMath recovers, though, long on the shot. And it goes out of bounds to Scott County. Again,
they're not getting any looks at all at the bucket. Scott County's playing good aggressive defense, and their length. I didn't realize their length until I see them against, I'm thinking Reagan Barrett and Skierman have some length. Scott County's got a lot of length.
They do with a lineup of Wise, Owens. Sometimes they get Nisi Kenny and Tyra Young in there, and they're even bigger and stronger. Owens with the ball finds DeFore on the left wing. 12-6 your score, 140 and rolling here in the first quarter. Gets it inside to Malaya Williams. Yes.
That's just that is a D1 basketball move right there, Cal.
Power post up right there.
Now, if Reagan Barrett goes over and takes one more step, Cal, and bellies up with her, she can't put that dribble down. She has no idea where Reagan is, but Reagan kind of stopped on her.
There's always a mismatch if Malaya Williams can get free. There's a three-point attempt by Ava Skierman. No nerves for the 8th grader. She knocks it down.
I love that.
14-9. Big basket for Great Crossing. They needed one. DeFore, hesitation dribble. Now back out to Tompkins. The drive, yes.
Just too easy. Just too easy. The size for Scott County is really hurting Great Crossing.
The Bermuda Triangle has all 16 points for Scott County. DeFore, Williams, and Tompkins. No answers yet for Great Crossing on those three.
They need to continue to get that high ball screen from McMath and let her come off that screen.
Ward for three. Rainbow is off the back of the rim, no good. Malaya Williams tears it down and brings it back up for Scott County. She finds Owens on the right wing. Owens dribbles into traffic, now gets it back to Malaya, to Tompkins on the right baseline. Spin move, traveled though. First move was okay, the second one was not.
The second dance step was awful nice.
8th grader Malia Moore checking into the game along with the aforementioned Trinice Kenny and Tyra Young. So the big lineup here with Kenny, Young, and Tompkins. Williams will get a little 34-second breather. And Steve Helton getting in some instruction on the sideline. His team, slow start, but they have asserted themselves offensively as far as getting the ball inside where they want it to be. And DeFore's hit a couple of threes as usual.
Great Crossing needs to end the quarter here with something positive. Something positive, whether it's offensively or defensively, needs something positive right now going to the second quarter.
Ball tipped out of bounds by Tompkins. It will stay with Great Crossing. 20.7 seconds. You don't see a lot of slow-paced possessions, but maybe a time and score in order here for Great Crossing to try to minimize the damage. They're down 7.
You're exactly right, and I think that's what Coach Wilson's going to see. Hey, we got to run more offense. We got to get better shots.
And here's the thing with Great Crossing. They are not a first-quarter team. They have struggled mightily in first quarters and first halves this year. There's a nice shot there by Olivia Tierney, another 8th grader.
They need a stop right here.
16-11, DeFore with a strong drive and a scoop. Up and under 12 points. She's ahead of Great Crossing by herself. Blocks the shot at the horn. And gives herself a round of applause and gives her team a round of applause.
As she should.
As Scott County, with 12 from DeFore, leads Great Crossing 18-11 after 1. Be back with you shortly here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. Want to remind you tonight's Player of the Game award will be presented by Greens Toyota of Lexington. They are one of our fine sponsors. We'll name a few others, and we'll get to them slowly as this broadcast goes on. Fast-paced first quarter, haven't had much time for that. Bluegrass Orthopedics, Burger King of Georgetown, Galvin's on Main, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Brickhouse Properties, Galvin's again we mentioned. And of course, Chick-fil-A. I want to mention my employer, News Graphic. You may be listening to this game at news-graphic.com, and hopefully, if not, you're watching on the NFHS network. I'm Cal Oakes with Derek Varney. Our producer, director, James Scoggin, had an important event We won some awards, so he's picking those up tonight. We miss him greatly, but we're here trying to hold down the fort.
And congratulations on the awards.
Yeah, I'm blessed to work for a great publisher, Mike Scoggin, and a great company in the news graphic that lets me be myself in a community that gets it. So
absolutely.
Very thankful. And to see the crowd here every year, and the silver anniversary edition of this fine event that does so much, Derek, for all of the athletic programs.
It does, and I can't believe 25 years. I remember when the tournament first started, we were thinking, man, what is this going to be about?
Malia Moore wastes no time getting a three. It's no good, and McMath tears down the rebound.
Great
up
pass.
Ahead to Reagan Barrett, and one.
Good job, Reagan.
Reagan with a nice play to finish off McMath, though, quarterbacking that break.
Exactly, and what I always talk about Reagan Barrett is she runs the floor, Cal. She runs the floor, and she beat everybody down the floor at a pure hustle right there, and she gets the bucket and a chance for and one right here.
She's a freshman, as the chant from the student section might say, if they were here in droves. They don't seem to be, but a lot of family and friends here to watch this first ever matchup as Barrett completes the three-point play. She has 4 points, and her team is down only 4 now, 18-14.
It's a good way to start the quarter for Great Crossing.
Absolutely. They have cut what was, I think, a 9-point deficit down to 4 pretty quickly. DeFore, guarded by McMath, picks it up over to Malia Williams. She'll shoot from three. Has made a lot of those lately. Hit 5 for 5 the other night at Bryant Station. Malia Moore tore down the rebound, gets it to Kennedy Tompkins. She's long. Tyra Young with the third opportunity.
Tyra Young comes in strong right there.
Weak side putback, no good, but she'll go to the line to try to get them the hard way.
I think you're seeing Kennedy Tompkins, if you notice what I'm noticing, she's forcing a little bit tonight. She's trying to make the moves she normally doesn't make, shoot shots she normally doesn't. Right there, she gets the ball kind of in the coffin corner. Should have kicked it back out. And also you had Malia Williams cutting right there.
Young makes the first free throw. And as we mentioned, one factor in this game, players have got to stay within themselves.
They really do. And that's the emotional part there.
Whirlwind of emotions, obviously.
Right. I want to make that big play tonight is what the thinking is.
No good, but there's KT on the rebound. Now gets it back to Tyra. Left elbow jumper is good. So Tyra Young gets a three-point play in the non-traditional way, you could say. 21-14, Scott County.
Scott County comes back with 3 points after Great Crossing started the quarter with 3 points.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Right.
McMath blocked by Malia Williams. We put that on recording because it will be said a few times tonight, I'm sure. Not just McMath, but everybody.
McMath needs to kind of look in there before she goes, and I think she did. She did the right thing.
Coach Wilson happy with that take because
sure.
She was kind of tentative against Simon Kenton, and only had 5 points, 9 assists in that game, but obviously the Lady Pioneers conducted a clinic in that one with a 20-point win. Now McMath, guarded by Price, bounces it over to Barrett, who finds Williams. She's short, but McMath through the offensive board. Now Rachel Smith, second chance three is no good. Malia Williams rebound and contact from Ava Skierman.
But you know what, Ava Skierman, what's she doing? She's in there 8th grade battling with the tallest girl on the floor, battling with a D1 player under there. She just
holding her own.
Right, and it doesn't faze her because she said, I'm going to play hard no matter what.
Not a great foul, but as a coach, you like to see that from someone so young in a game like that.
That's an effort foul and not one of those I'm going to foul you because I'm tired and I lost my mental capacity.
Ava doesn't seem to get tired. She's
does not.
Relentless. Tyra Young backs down, fires up another one short. Tipped around, Malia Williams tried to save it, but she found Rachel Smith instead, and Smith will find Timmy Williams on the break. Pull up three, short again.
Timmy Williams
scramble for the rebound to KT, Kennedy Tompkins, who finds Malia Williams. And Scott County will bring it back up. Underhanded pass to DeFore. DeFore from three, deep three.
Good gracious.
25-footer for DeFore, who has 15 already. And we have 6 minutes to go in the half.
And Cal, I'm telling you, I've played against guys like that, and I've been on team. For one, Tony Wise, as we talk. When you're trying to defend that, whoever you are, you got to look at your coach and say, hey, we're almost 25, 28 feet out, and somebody's hitting that. You know what? You just got to kind of tap them on the butt and say, hey, good shot. You know what? That's tough. I mean, Coach Wilson, you got McMath all over DeFore, and she's just knocking them down from everywhere.
Timmy Williams with a good take, got fouled by Emma Price. It's Emma's second foul. Timmy makes the first free throw, 24-15 Scott County. 6:02 remaining in the second quarter.
It has to get to the point maybe where opposing coaches, and right now for Glenn Wilson, you got to run at her. I'd run another girl right at her, make her get the ball out of her hands.
Timmy makes both. It's an 8-point lead for the Lady Cardinals, under 6 now. DeFore brings it up. And shoots again from long. And that one off the back of the rim, tipped around. Timmy Williams picks it up, and she will try to outrun DeFore. DeFore, enough pressure to make her fire long, but Great Crossing got the board.
Nice.
The second chance shot is a 3 for Braley McMath.
Little 5-0 run right here.
24-19 cuts the lead in half. Tyra Young with another strong take. She's fouled on the floor by Timmy Williams.
Miss Young is very deceivingly athletic.
She certainly
She
is.
really is. She
She's given-
moves so well, and she knows where she is on the floor. She's just got a good basketball IQ.
Giving this team some great minutes lately. There's a nice reverse layup by DeFore. If she doesn't beat you from 30 feet from the rim, she'll beat you at the rim.
I'm telling you, Cal, I would go to the old-fashioned box-and-one chaser, which I used to not be able to stand, because it was like if he goes to the bathroom, you go with him.
What was the line in Hoosiers? If he's chewing gum, I want to know what flavor.
Right.
Nice take by McMath there. She went right at DeFore and made it work. 26-21. Another take by DeFore and one. You can't stop her.
You cannot. This is unbelievable.
19 for DeFore. We mentioned a career night just 24 hours ago. 34 points. She's on pace for. She's going to obliterate that.
You hate to jinx her and say she's looking at 40, but she's looking at 40.
The Red Mamba is on fire. She hits the free throw for an even 20. 13 minutes into the game. Now Layla Custard will check in for Great Crossing.
Again, there has to be an adjustment on Great Crossing's end here to, I'm telling you, when she comes across the floor, run someone else at her. Make her throw the initial pass and then deny her the ball.
Nice take again for McMath, but it rolled off the rim. Ava Skurman,
There you
strong
go.
rebound on the weak side, and she'll go to the line as Tyra Young fouled her. KT will check back into the game.
Ava is the human momentum breaker for the other team. Anytime it seems like they're playing someone and someone gets a run going, she'll do something positive to break that run.
And again, that's that basketball IQ, that court sense.
It
She was
is.
talking about knowing when to hold them and when to fold them.
Exactly right. And and you know what it is? It's the little things. Grab that offensive rebound to help your team here and try to get a little spark.
She's the leading rebounder, as we mentioned, for Great Crossing. She missed the first free throw long. 4:49 remaining second quarter. Second one is up and good. 29-22 Scott County. Skierman's fourth point of the evening. Morgan DeFore, the lady of the hour, dribbles it up slowly. We don't say that very often for Scott County. Guarded by McMath, gets it over to Tompkins. Tompkins looking inside, bounces it to Malaya, but Custard picks it off and gets it to McMath.
That's a great. They got 2 and 3 people around Williams.
Skierman corner three is good. Cuts it to 4 just like that.
What is this gym with the Skiermans? The Skierman
They like it. You're right. Player of the game when the boys were here in December. Ty hit a bunch that night, 4 if memory serves. 4-point game. Kaylee Wise finds Bree Penny, who finds DeFore from way downtown.
Now I'm getting ready to leave the gym. This is ridiculous.
She shot that from the concession stand,
She
ladies
really
and gentlemen.
did.
23 points for Morgan DeFore in 12 minutes.
Morgan, we need a couple waters up here, so when you're in the concession stand, grab us a couple.
Ball kicked around as Timmy Williams got her own fumble. It will stay with Great Crossing. She saved it off of Malaya Williams. What a performance so far. You want your big players to step up in big games, and by golly. Another three-point attempt from McMath. Same spot as Skillman just hit from. It's just wild back and forth. Punch and counter punch here.
Cal, should I go out and get our umbrella? It's raining.
It's raining threes.
Oh, good
Lob
pass.
pass from DeFore to
Great
Malaya
pass.
Williams, just like that, the answer. Malaya's second bucket. She's been relatively quiet, but who hasn't other than
Exactly.
Morgan DeFore? And we're going to get a 30-second timeout. Glenn Wilson just wants to talk things over. We need a break just to collect our thoughts. What a game, Derek Murney.
Wow. I mean, this is something special to watch, and we've seen some great performances in here this year. Matter of fact, we saw her go to halftime. I forget who it was against, but she had 25 at halftime about a month ago, I think it was. But yeah, she's really feeling it tonight, and that just makes her team go and makes everybody around her better.
Special night so far for Morgan DeFore, and we got a long way to go.
Yes, we do. And the thing about it is, it can go south on you. If Morgan stays within herself, let the game come to her. Don't try to do things that now there's not a whole lot she can't do, but keep shooting the shot if you're feeling it. I know it right now. It looks like a huge laundry basket up there for her.
To say the least.
Absolutely.
She can be streaky within games. We've seen it before, but right now, no stopping her. Great crossing. McMath to the hole, blocked by DeFore. What hasn't she done?
Off
And
her
it goes
leg.
out of bounds off of McMath's foot or leg. You're right. Scott County will take over with 3:07 remaining second quarter. And Tyra Young, I think that's a good substitution. Steve Helton getting her back in the game, and Kaylee Wise will sit down.
Yep.
Good things seem to happen when Tyra's in the game.
She is a spark plug. She really is.
Tyra, Malaya, and Kennedy Tompkins are the only players other than Morgan DeFore to score for Scott County.
And they're still going straight man to man. Here, it's a great.
Inside DeFore to Williams.
It's a great offensive
you
look.
Can't stop that either.
No. And bless Ava Skierman's heart. She's going to play her hardest, but there's just no stopping Malaya.
And what Morgan DeFore has done on the perimeter has just opened up the inside.
It really has.
Now, anything's possible for Scott County. They're up 8. They haven't missed much in this quarter. To Great Crossing's credit, they have not either. Layla Custard back to Ava. Ava dribbles around, finds McMath cutting, a wild behind the back pass, picked up by Rachel Smith. Now Haley Ward will be open for 3. It's off to the left though. Rebound to KT. Tompkins finds DeFore. DeFore, good vision.
Look at that look.
Great vision up ahead to Malaya Williams. The shot is blocked, an attempted block, and a foul by Bradley McMath.
That's just, again, Morgan DeFore catches the ball midcourt, falling out of bounds, and has the wherewithal to look up and hit with a dime.
And what Coach Helton was saying the other night after the 2000th point, he was just, giving rave reviews, talking about Morgan DeFore's basketball IQ and comparing her to the likes of Chelsea Lyman, to the likes of some of those great players, Kristen Steinbach, that he has coached in the past that had 2,000 points, or some that didn't, but were that glue person on your team.
Unbelievable.
Morgan has that kind of ability. Williams makes 1 of 2.
Morgan's compared to all of them. We won't take her yet to Yukari Figgs, because that's just a whole nother level right there.
And Rebecca Dyer.
Right.
And he was and Rebecca was another one that he mentioned, that Steve Helton mentioned. Ward, bad pass picked off by DeFore. DeFore on the break. She'll take it herself. Caught at a bad angle.
Oh, my goodness.
But when it's going your way, it's going your way. DeFore tough to stop to the left.
And Coach Wilson kind of stopped the fast break right there. He got so frustrated, he stopped the fast break by calling a timeout.
He wants to talk it over again.
He's like, girls, do you see number 1 in white right there? She has 25 or 27?
25.
25.
Unbelievable. It increases Scott County's lead to double digits for the second time, but it's their largest lead of 11. Hope you're enjoying this one at home. If you're not here, this place is filled in nicely on the bottom level on both sides. MJ serenading us here. Want to be starting something. Both these teams want to be starting something.
Number one in white has started something.
She's going to finish something too.
Good
if they let
gracious.
her. She is having herself a career night. And just as Jack Buck said once, "Pardon me while I stand and applaud."
Exactly.
It is on right now at Scott County High School, the Morgan DeFore show.
It really is, and I think everybody in the whole gym is anxious to see her get her hands back on the ball. It's one of those nights.
Great Crossing's going to need to put something together here in the final 2 minutes, not let this get out of hand. But there's Tompkins with a steal. She will slow it down for a moment. Malaya Williams from 3.
Bang.
Yes. Bingo, bongo, 42-28. It's not what Great Crossing needed. Now cross-court pass from Timmy to Olivia Tierney. Back to McMath, who will set.
They need to move. They're really stagnant right now. See, and they're going to come up and they're going to trap the ball. They've gone to a zone. Scott County girls have gone to a zone.
And that is Glenn Wilson's MO.
Yeah.
That's what he did all those years. Steve Helton doesn't like to go to his zone, but when he did, it was usually Glenn who wrote it up for him. DeFore, I don't even know what to say, y'all.
Well, when we say DeFore's name, that means it went in.
She hasn't missed lately. Block by KT. This thing could get out of hand before the half. Tompkins up ahead, but it's too long for Malia Moore. 44-28. Great Crossing will get the ball back down 16 with 53 seconds remaining in the half.
But Cal, look at Braylee McMath. Just keeps battling. You know what? She got her shot blocked and knocked down. She runs down the court, gets the ball, and you can just see the look in her eye. Give me the ball. I can score. I can do this.
The game against Franklin County was the same way. She looked like she was about ready to dive headfirst into a bucket of ice at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
As Timmy Williams hits a three.
She needed that bad.
A badly needed three.
Bad.
For Timmy. That's her first field goal.
Yeah, not just for Great Crossing, but for Timmy.
Gets it back down to a baker's dozen, and maybe Scott County, the rarest of rarities, might hold it for one shot with 30 seconds. And they probably should have as DeFore throws it away. Timmy Williams with the steal, gets fouled by Tompkins. KT catches her before she runs too hard into the padding, and Timmy will go to the line.
Again, if that wall's not there, Timmy Williams goes so hard, she ends up in my car out there. I mean, she really does. It's unbelievable. And she will learn, with age and experience and playing more, dial it back a little bit. There's a time where we got to go hard. She's got one speed, and she plays so hard.
I just hope if you're watching this game at home, or if you're here and watching it later, if you're not someone who goes to a lot of girls basketball games, that this will change your mind about what women's basketball is, because the athleticism of these two teams is just through the roof. Second free throw, no good, rebounded by Malaya, and now DeFore will finish it up. 15 seconds.
See what they got here at the end of the quarter. I think I know what it's going to be. No secret.
Inside to Malaya Williams, yes.
Wow.
She has gone on a tear at the end of the half. 10 this quarter, 12 in all. Half-court shot by McMath just missed off the foot of the rim. Your halftime score from Scott County High School at the 25th Annual Toyota Classic, Night 3. Scott County 46, Great Crossing 32. As advertised, Derek Varney.
Absolutely. It's everything I thought it would be. I thought it might be just a little bit closer with Scott County pulling away more towards the end, but, Scott County up 14 right now, and it's merely the fact that, again, number one in white, Morgan DeFore, is just having an unbelievable evening.
She's having an otherworldly night.
It is. It's evenings you dream about. You really do. Not you dream about that for a whole game, not just for a half where she has 25 points.
And when she hasn't scored, she has found Malaya Williams for uncontested stuff down low.
Yes, she probably has. What does she probably have? 4 or 5. I'm anxious to see the stats. She probably got 4 or 5 assists on top of that.
She has the assist on every Malaya Williams.
Right.
I don't think they've been putbacks because Scott County's got to be shooting 70% right now. I can't wait. Hopefully we'll get some stats. We don't have James here to run them down for us, but it has been a relentless first half for Scott County.
Yeah, it really. Scott County's playing the way they want to play. And I think on Great Crossing's offensive end, Cal, again, Scott County's length is really, really bothering them. McMath, bless her heart, she's probably hands down the toughest one on the floor, and we love watching her. But she gets a lot of buckets by going in that mid-range jumper. Well, guess what? The mid-range jumper tonight has Malaya Williams and Kennedy Tompkins looking right at her when she goes in there. So it makes it very difficult.
It has been all threes basically.
They can't get inside. They can't score inside of the three-point line, and that's just because Scott County, they're really not trapping. They're really not putting a lot of pressure. They're laying. That's what they're saying. They said, "Hey, let our size work right here to our advantage."
We'll go over the scoring totals. It's not going to take long for Scott County, so let's start with them. Morgan DeFore. Well, let's go in inverse order. Tyra Young with 3. She got them all on kind of one whack there in the second quarter.
Yep.
Kennedy Tompkins 4. Malaya Williams 12. Morgan DeFore 27. Count them. 27 and a half. I mean, the KHSAA record book has records that they keep for most points and a half, and she's probably put her name on that list, not as the all-time leader, because some crazy stuff has happened over the years, but certainly she'll be on that list with 27 in the first half somewhere. Looking over at the Great Crossing side, that's a little more balanced, actually a lot more balanced.
Right.
Braylee McMath with 10, Ava Skillman with 7, Timothy Williams with 6, Reagan Barrett with 4.
I thought Reagan might be more of a factor there in the first half, but I think
so hard
it is
against the likes of Williams and Tompkins. Rachel Smith 3, she got those on the very first possession of the game that gave Great Crossing a 3-2 lead. And then 2 points for Olivia Tierney. So 8th graders have 9 points in the game for Great Crossing. That bodes well for future battles of the birds.
And again,
Seniors have 39 of the 46
right.
for Scott County.
That's mind blowing to me. It really is. Just to say 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
And Coach Helton was talking about the other night with Morgan DeFore. She scored 9 points as a 6th grader, and that's unheard of now because the KHSAA, I think that was the last year you were allowed to do it. She was kind of grandfathered in or whatever. They have gone to only 7th graders are allowed to play varsity. You see it probably more at the girls level just because they're more physically mature even at that age to be able to handle the rigors of it.
Does that go for all varsity sports, Cal? Because I remember Harrison County at one point, J.B. Schmidt, who actually played at Harrison County, went on to play, had a good career at Kentucky. He was at second base as a 6th grader on the varsity team.
Yeah, it's funny. During the British Open last year, J.B. Holmes was in the lead there on the weekend, and somebody mentioned that he played varsity golf at Taylor County in 3rd grade.
Wow.
I think he was their number 1 player.
Probably, absolutely.
In 3rd grade. A 10-time varsity letterman, I think they said. So 9 or 10 anyway. You can't do that anymore, but they might allow you in 6th grade in some sports. But just crazy. We've got the stats here. I was wrong. I said 70%. It's only 59.4%. 10 turnovers. That's if there's a bugaboo for Scott County in this game. It's been a lot of those have been unforced in the half court.
Right. Just careless passes were a couple of them.
8 for Great Crossing, so actually that's a good thing for the Lady Warhawks. Rebounding as expected, Scott County with a 21-13 lead. Malaya Williams with 6 in that area. Morgan DeFore 11 for 15. She's 7 for 8 inside the arc, 4 for 7 outside. She's added a free throw to that, a 3-point play to give her 27. 5 assists, so when she hasn't scored, as we mentioned, she's fouled Malaya 5 times inside. She's blocked 2 shots,
yes.
Morgan DeFore. She has a steal.
I think this could be the first time that Morgan may be taller than her opponent that she's guarding.
That's crazy, but at 5'6", that's probably that's guaranteed to be likely.
Right.
Braley, not quite there. Braley, tough night, as you mentioned, 4 for 13. A lot of shots getting blocked, a lot of getting forced misses, I think, down under the basket.
And the majority of the shots, Cal, we see her hit. We normally see her hit, on any given night. But again, Scott County's length.
All season long, it's been a 3-point oriented team. Great Crossing. They half of their 30 attempts have been from behind the arc. They've hit 6 for 15. Only 4 for 15 inside the arc, which again isn't very surprising, considering the size advantage that Great Crossing has. We've mentioned before, though, Great Crossing. Second half team, certainly. At Franklin County, they were 4 points away from being running clocked in the 3rd quarter. Got it down to 12 at the end of the game. Same thing the first time they played Franklin County. They were down about 20, got it to within 6. They played Dunbar. They were close to a running clock in that game. Got that one down to 12 or 13. Anything possible here.
Right. And you know what? I hope to see it. I hope they do. I hope they come,
You want to see this be a memorable game. It's been memorable anyway already. And what we've seen from Morgan DeFore, we're never going to forget this in the first half.
I mean, look, we got, what do we got, 78 points right now total in one half. I mean, and that's incredible. It really is.
And, and it was a slow start. It was 7-5, 4 minutes in. Not at all the pace we would expect from these two teams, but it picked up in a hurry. And threes will do that. When you hit threes, the score.
Big time.
The temperature rises in a hurry. About 3 minutes to go here. Great Crossing coming back out as the team. The kids will have to clear the court and make way for the other kids, the kids in green and white. Great Crossing certainly hasn't backed down from Scott County. You wouldn't expect. They wore the same uniforms, traveled in the same circles last year. There's no awe factor there. But I know some people from Great Crossing, some parents were telling me, my kid's nervous. My kid's been talking a lot this week about that they're nervous. And I guess that's to be expected too. I mean, as you said, and as we both said, the emotions play a part in that, a huge part.
It totally is, and I know, I guarantee there was some chirping that went on throughout the week. Now with social media, anybody can say
chirping
anything.
Birds,
yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. And again, no handshakes before the game. I didn't like seeing that. I don't know if that was intentional or what was happening there, but again, these girls were teammates. They were teammates at one time, and one thing you can guarantee, Great Crossing and Coach Wilson's girls, are going to play their tails off here in the second half, and they're going to scratch and claw and do everything they can. Their goal right now is, you're down 14. You want to cut it in half. You don't ask to get it all back. You say, hey, let's end the third quarter being down 7. That's all we're looking for right now.
Not going to find two better guys than Steve Helton and Glenn Wilson, two guys who have elevated women's basketball in this community. They've raised the bar extremely high over the past 21 years together, now separately as they guide their respective programs. And this is definitely a crossroads game. We've mentioned the two seniors doing so much for Scott County tonight, and just everybody for Great Crossing is going to be here when we convene next year for edition 26 XXVI of the Toyota Classic, and maybe the pendulum will swing to the team in green.
Well, and again, this really the bottom line, the way this thing kind of shakes out, it means nothing but Scott County bragging rights. That's all it is. They're not the same district. They may see each other in the region. Hopefully both of them.
I would like that.
God forbid any upsets or anything. They may see each other in the region again. But again, regular season and Toyota Classic, it means absolutely nothing.
They could very well see each other in the first round of the region. Now, we mentioned they're going to play again on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
In a second regular season matchup. Scott County, it would be a shocker if they did not win the 42nd district. They have dominated that district. All the games are running clock games so far. I don't expect anything different, barring injury, knock on wood, anything like that. Great Crossing, I think right now Franklin County is certainly the favorite in the 41st, but Great Crossing has established themselves as the runaway second place team. And when you get to region, it's a blind draw, and one plays two in that first round, and anything possible there, they could see each other right off the bat. So if it gets to that point, a lot of water to be under the bridge and over the bridge between now and then. But
and the teams I've seen, I think, I wasn't at Dunbar the other night. You and I kept talking about the score, and Scott County was down the whole time, and lo and behold, to get home, and I think they won on some quirky whatever happened there at the end of the ballgame, but they win. I just still think Scott County's a hands-down regional favorite. I've seen Franklin County play. I just think they have the size and the guards.
I think both teams have a lot to figure out. I think both teams have that star nucleus.
Yes.
But there is still a little bit of an identity crisis on who's the big player at the end of games, and also some of those supporting cast sometimes come up small in those big games for both teams, and they need to rectify that. There's a three-point attempt to start the half by Skierman. Rebound by Malaya Williams. She will take it down quickly to go 84 feet to the basket. No good, but she gets her own rebound, strong, and puts it back.
Stays with it and finishes.
And that's what you want to see, and that's what you're going to continue to see as she moves to the collegiate level next year. She's just getting stronger physically every time she takes the court, it seems like.
I just can't imagine when college coaches see her and they go, you know what, we're going to get her in the weight room, we'll get her on a good eating plan, we're going to put muscle on her, and she can shoot from inside and out. Look at that. That's just a dime right there.
Long pass to Price who misses the layup, and those college coaches are going to be able to put her on a team with 4 other girls that are 6'3".
Right.
There's a deep three by McMath, no good. Strong rebound by Barrett, gets it away from Tompkins and puts it back. They like seeing that from Reagan Barrett.
They have to. They have to see some sort of inside presence here in the second half, and Reagan can supply that.
DeFore bounces it inside to KT. A little touch foul by Barrett there at the other end.
I think that's what happened in the first half. Is that 3 on Reagan, or is that just?
Let's look. She had 2, yes. She has 3 now.
I think they're coming with Beam.
Yes, Emma Beam. We'll see her for the first time tonight. That's interesting. She didn't play in the first half.
Maybe another, 7th or 8th grader?
I believe she's a freshman. She doesn't look like it at times. She looks like the youngest player on the court when she's out there, but she's another one that she gets the rebound there. Is too strong on the layup was Malaya Williams. And Timmy Williams brings it down, comes right at the 4, now kicks it to McMath.
Nice
McMath pass wide of Williams, and we'll turn it over to Scott County.
I know our listeners, if you're a viewer, you see that. That's a good pass by McMath, and I'll tell you why. Timmy Williams is up on the wing. As you're driving as a shooter and a 2-guard, you're dropping to the corner more as your point guard or whoever's driving down the lane. So she throws it where she's supposed to be.
It's like a good quarterback.
It is. You throw it to the spot.
Yeah.
Now, you want to make sure she's there, but Timmy Williams hesitated.
A laser from DeFore inside, and Malaya Williams, she couldn't hold on to it. It'll go back to the Lady Warhawks. 6:31 remaining, third quarter. 48-34, Scott County on top, looking to go to 14-5 on the season. They've won 10 out of 12 coming in. The only loss in state was to Ryle, the defending state champions. So Scott County's been on a run, but Steve Helton still has a lot of questions about his team. Beam with a turnaround there was short. Malaya Williams picked up the rebound once again. Well on her way to another double-double. Emma Price for 3. off the rim, front side, no good. Kicked around. DeFore gets it back. Stops, finds Malaya Williams for another three-point attempt. Long rebound. McMath bumps into Price. And the foul will be on Emma.
Got to be something called there.
Two people going for the same spot. Braley was there first.
Which normally that's the case.
You would think the odds are forever in her favor.
Yes.
She is just a hustler. She earns everything she gets out there. Step back inside the arc, it's good. A 2 for McMath. That's 12 points for her.
That's on. That was on DeFore right there again. Hand down, man down.
DeFore looks to Tompkins, top of the key, no good. Haven't been good shots the past couple of possessions for Scott County, I don't think. Giving Great Crossing a chance to get back into it. Three-point attempt for Smith is long. Beam goes up for the rebound. It will go, yes, back to Scott County.
Great Crossing has a little more energy right here.
Yeah, I like the really spring in their step that they came out with. They kind of know they're a second-half team. They're not, again, we said, they're not awestruck by the opponent, and they're not phased by being down. They've been down before.
Right.
8-9 on the season are the Lady Warhawks, as DeFore will dribble over to the corner of the half court.
So we get a high screen here for DeFore.
Yep, she will take it to the rack. High off the glass, no good. Tompkins, strong weak side rebound. Now it's on the floor. Picking it up is Timmy Williams. McMath up ahead to Rachel Smith.
Great look.
Beautiful pass to run the break, and it's a 10-point game suddenly.
Well, what do we got, a 6-2 run?
Stop and pop.
Well,
4 for 3. Give her 30 on the night.
Sorry. Couldn't get out of my mouth of Great Crossing's run before DeFore stopped it.
She's the killer.
DeFore with the 3.
Yes, the dagger.
Oh.
And a steal by Malaya Williams. Will she dunk it? She tried the other night. Nope, just a lay-in. She tried the other night at Bryan Station. Got a piece of the rim, but couldn't quite get it down tonight. Oh, a trip there as DeFore got hooked up with McMath, and McMath goes belly first. Foul was on DeFore and on the floor, and it will stay with Great Crossing underneath the basket. 4:31 remains, third quarter. Scott County 53, Great Crossing 38.
Well, McMath hit the floor hard right there. I don't know if
Boy,
you noticed
she
that.
did. Jarring collision. It's a sudden stop, even when you're only 5'1". There's a 3 from Ava Skierman. She's hit 3 tonight.
Deep.
Give her 10 on the night.
There you go. I mean, here, we're 12-point ball game.
Another 3 for DeFore. No, but the rebound tipped around. Young will chase it down to the corner and save it to Malaya. Now DeFore with a second chance. Does not miss out. 33. 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. She's going to get to 50.
Cal, are we going to discuss player of the game?
No. There's no. The only thing we're going to discuss is school records right now, and I hope Steve Helton knows what that is.
As far as single points in the game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now you got to think Rebecca Dyer or Yakari Figs might have it.
That Stacy McIntyre had she had a bunch too. That was a former Lady Cat as well.
Yes. No shortage of D1 players have come through this program, and DeFore is going to be one of the latest. Inbound pass to Custard. She'll get fouled. Kenan Owens and Tyra Young were there. They're going to give it to Tyra. That's her second. 3:45 remaining third quarter as Layla Custard will try to cut into a 15-point deficit with 2 from the line. Fourth foul of the half for Scott County. Custard makes the first. First point of the game for Layla. Another one of those freshmen. Rebound on the miss of the second by Kennedy Tompkins. DeFore again. Yes. I don't even know what
Cal, I'm going to the hospitality room.
36 career high, and we've still got 11 and a half minutes to go. Braylon McMath answers with a drive and a scoop shot for 2. But 3 for 2. You can do the McMath there. It's not going to come out for Great Crossing. DeFore zips it into Malaya.
Wow.
Turn around. You can't stop that either. What do you do if you're Great Crossing?
I think what I said earlier there, Cal, you can't have one person beat you. You really can't.
Yeah,
you got to just say, hey,
now.
She comes across midcourt, run at her, make someone else catch the first pass.
They're getting beat by all of Morgan DeFore and 90% of Malaya right now. Foul, nope, steps on Skierman. 3 minutes even to play in the third quarter. Morgan DeFore has 37 points. That's only 7 fewer than Great Crossing as a team.
Well, and what people can't see if they're just listening is Braylee McMath's guarding her all over the court. It's not like she's laying back. You know, she is really trying to deny her the ball. She's just pulling up from everywhere.
Spin move, nice one by KT. Gets
Beautiful
the ball
move
in off
right
the
there.
front of the rim.
That is
She's perfected that lately.
Right. That is a big-time move right there. The up and under, beautiful.
Nice bounce pass forward from Timmy Williams to Braylee McMath. It's a sense of urgency right now for Great Crossing, and Glenn Wilson, who's saying, speed it up, speed it up. He's the kind of coach that doesn't care if he loses by 50 or 10. A loss is a loss. He's going to want to push the tempo.
Helton in his defensive stance down there, too.
He's going to slap the floor pretty soon.
He knows nothing's safe as well, this 19-point lead.
Steve
because he knows how.
Wojciechowski style.
Right, exactly. Everybody hits the floor at Cameron.
And I say that because he's a UNC fan. I'm picking on Steve.
Yes.
Both those things turn the UK fan's stomach when I mention them, I'm sure. Braylee McMath going to the line as Tyra Young commits her third foul. Braylee's made 88% on the season, but she misses the first one short. And if she's ever going to miss, it's going to be short in the second half of the game when her tank has to be running a little low or lower. She makes the second,
You
though.
would never know.
No, she's just relentless. Love to watch her play. Worth the price of admission. If you haven't paid that price, get out and see both these teams before the end of the season. Bree Penny now with the ball. Morgan DeFore, why not? That was going to go down.
That was going to be for 40 right there.
It was in and out, halfway down. Foul out front on Kenan Owens. 63-45. Scott County with 2:03 remaining in the third quarter. This is not going to be a running clock game, so Scott County could push 100. Skierman rainbow three is off the back of the rim, but McMath with the rebound. Finds Rachel Smith, who finds, yes,
nice.
Layla Custard for three. Custard with her first field goal, 4 points. Second, third, and fourth points.
Little Custer on top.
Tompkins answers inside. Little bread pudding.
Yes.
65-48. This one's been entertaining, to say the least.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, my goodness. Lived up to what we expected. Like you said, maybe not as close as we hoped or anticipated, but floater by McMath, no. Somebody asked me yesterday. I said probably Scott County by 10 or 15. I didn't know how we'd get there.
Yeah.
Kenan Owens drives, gets fouled by Custard, and will go to the line. Phew. We haven't had many chances to catch our breath here. It's only the second foul on Great Crossing of this half. Next one for Scott County will put Great Crossing in a bonus situation. So Great Crossing will have a chance to close in from the line a little bit, close that gap of 17 points. Kenan Owens has not scored tonight. Only 4 different Lady Cardinals have, for obvious reasons. Owens makes the first free throw. Tompkins with 8, Williams with 18, DeFore with 37. Owens makes both.
37 from a different area code.
Yes, 37 from the 606,
yes,
by God.
From 606, by God. Somebody got on me last night and said, you and Cal, you can never top that. I was like, you're right.
I won't try.
No.
That guy's a legend. Steal by Great Crossing, shot by Ava Skierman, strong off the back of the rim. Tompkins tears down the rebound.
You're not getting that rebound.
Rips it away from Ward and Custard.
Oh,
now
she's
she'll
not done.
drive it strong. Oh, foul on the floor. She wanted an and one, but it would have been a continuation.
Kennedy Tompkins said, I earned this one on the defensive end. I'm going all the way on the offensive end.
She is another one of those players like Malaya Williams, just gotten more confident as the years have passed. Was a raw talent when she started, but you can see it. The strength and the basketball IQ rise. Timmy Williams on the theft there, gets it over to Haley Ward, and up back to Williams, guarded by Tompkins, pushing the issue in the backcourt, but now Timmy gets away, partially blocked at least by Malaya Williams. Rebound to Ava Skierman, though, for Great Crossing. On the baseline to Timmy in the right corner, yes, inside the arc. That's a 2 for Timmy, only her second field goal.
And Timmy Williams actually kind of got hurt on the first attempt. She came from out of bounds. The ball was bouncing around. She grabs it and shoots it and hits it.
It's not like the NFL where you can't go out of bounds and come in and catch it.
Can't be the first one to touch it.
A little slap foul on Braylee McMath there. maybe a fatigue foul with 26 seconds remaining in a fast-paced third quarter. It's her second. 67-50.
Right. I think it's a pretty good way of slowing Morgan DeFore down is by fouling her. Just grab her.
Just make her stop.
Exactly. McMath just keeps battling.
Sticking the hand out there, at least getting close enough to her face to make her think. It's not going to stop Morgan. She has no conscience. She'll fire 40. 4-0.
Man, this is ridiculous.
She has 8 3-pointers. That shot by McMath is off. 70-50, the round numbers at the end of 3. But the round number for Morgan DeFore is 40.
This is quite something.
4-0. Dear Lord have mercy.
That is
I got to tweet this out. People aren't going to believe it.
That's a 40 burger.
Scott County 70. Great Crossing 50. Morgan DeFore 40 in third. That's all you got to say.
Somebody better be looking for the school record.
Now, I'm going to demand that they tell me who get. I mean, I can go on the KHSAA site and see if anybody from Scott County is listed. But even then, if you go on that website, Yakari Figg's career point total isn't even listed. Her 2,700 points.
Yeah.
Not even listed. You know, and I get after people. Coaches and ADs have a lot more to worry about than that. But if you tell the KHSAA, they'll say, well, it's got to come from somebody at the school. So hopefully we can get that situation rectified over the years. But a record threatening, at the very least, performance by in all aspects by Morgan DeFore. I've got to think 8 threes. She's probably had 8 in a game before herself. Right. That was on a night where she ended up with 24 points, not 40. Crazy stuff.
The thing about it is, wonder if she knows even where she is. You know what I mean? I know to a point, any player, people are like, you count your points. Well, no, you know. You
know what? I got ahead of ourselves. It's actually only 39. I got ahead of ourselves with the round numbers. She's had 12 as they get the ball inside to Malaya Williams for an easy 2. It's all going Scott County's way right now as they lead by 22. Rachel Smith for 3. She's the kind of player that can heat up late.
She can, and she can really knock it down.
She hit one early, and now she hits one to get it back under 20. 72-53 DeFore and 1.
Or on the floor.
Oh, they're going to call it. Yep. Thought she was going to go over 40 and get a chance to make it 42.
It's just, it's almost like, what do you do,
No, they gave her an and 1. She's going to the line.
They did.
Yeah. Now we're even with the mistakes.
So now we're at 41?
We're at 41. With a chance for 42. This game has been fast-paced, sometimes out of control, but Morgan DeFore, with a 3 spot there, has 42. She has shattered her career high, and it is climbing. Braley, beautiful shot by her, strong take. She has 17. It's tough to be overshadowed, but it's happening. Pull up leaner, no good by DeFore, rebounded by Ward.
Now, if I can interject and say that's what you have to make Morgan do. Get on the run and get out of your comfort zone.
McMath with another. Top of the key inside the arc, 75-57, palindrome on the scoreboard. Inside to Malaya Williams, that's no good. Rebounded by Malia Moore, 8th grader for Scott County on the weak side, and she'll go to the line.
That had to be Ava Skierman taking that charge, and that was a charge that didn't get called down there by Malaya Williams. She kind of lowered her shoulder. Ava Skierman falls back and nothing's called. I think it surprised the referee, actually.
Foul ends up being called on Haley Ward. Free throw, first one is no good. 6:46 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Scott County by 18 in the first Battle of the Birds for the girls. Trying to even the score as the Great Crossing boys won back in December. Tonight, the Great Crossing boys are playing Thomas Nelson at 8:30, probably more like 9 o'clock over at GCHS in the consolation bracket for the boys. Coming up after this game on the NFHS network, we're not going to have the call, but you can watch it on here as Malia Moore's second attempt in and out. Scott County going to be playing a semifinal game against Marion County, and that's going to be a dandy.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch that one, watch that one.
I think that one will be similar entertainment value to this. Marion County didn't play a lot of defense last night, but they hung up 94 against Wayne County. son of Anthony Epps, Jamison Epps, the star for that team. Three-point attempt by Malaya Williams, no good front rim, rebounded by Smith. Scott County not slowing it down, and granted it's not in their DNA, but with an 18-point lead, it's kind of surprising. Rebound off the miss there by KT, one and done for Great Crossing. DeFore, she's not going to wait long before putting it up.
No, I think I would try to run them maybe just a little bit of offense here, which the offense has the ball, understand. That would be Morgan DeFore.
Inside to Malaya, she was getting held, still got free, got her own rebound. Second chance, no good. Second rebound is to Ava Skierman, who dribbles at the length of the court, puts it up strong, too strong. Malia Moore with the rebound, gets it to DeFore, dribbles behind her back to get away from McMath. Now she'll split the defense. Off balance, will draw the foul and go to the line. Fouls have evened out in the half, as both teams will be in the bonus from here on out. DeFore with 2 for 44. 5:41 remaining. Make it 43 as she makes the first. Emma Price checks back in, replacing Malia Moore. Emma Beam checks in to replace Timmy Williams on the other side for Great Crossing. Morgan DeFore trying to put the lead back at 20. She has had a monster night. Makes them both 44 points and probably closing in on 10 assists.
I say she goes for 50, Cal.
Oh, I think it's, I said it earlier and I stand by that she's going to end up with 50. Three-pointer, and that's the reason she's going to end up with 50 is because Great Crossing is not going to go away.
No,
Ava Skierman makes her fourth three-pointer of the night, 77-60. Inside DeFore to Williams, gets fouled on the floor, but it will be a 1-on-1 for Lele.
Well, and you have Skierman and you have Barrett and you have the girls just trying to play their hardest against Malaya Williams. She's such a load under there. She really is, just being as tall and as long. It's not so much that she is I don't want to say a wide body, but she's just real long.
She's wiry.
He's very wiry in her length. But
she has added, I would guess, at least 10 pounds of muscle over the past 12 months. She's a different player this year, and she's a grown woman. She makes both of those.
Yep.
She's going to make a major college very happy next year and for the 4 years to come. Inside from McMath to Beam. Nice kind of no-look layup there for Emma Beam as she gets on the board, 79-62. And DeFore has it taken away by McMath. She has not given up. Smith ahead to Tierney for three. Off. But Skierman there for the rebound. Now dips her head and shoots and will draw the foul.
But again, Skierman there for the rebound, as she always is.
Stopped clock is the best friend for Great Crossing right now. 4:55 remain. It's a 17-point margin, so 3-possession game in football, many possession game in here, and they've got to find a way to stop Scott County, which is easier said than done. But entertainment value will continue to be high down the stretch as Skierman misses her first one. After this, we mentioned boys semifinals, Scott County versus Marion County on the NFHS network. Glad you could join us on the Bird's Nest network for this one at newsgraphic.com and NFHS. Both free throws missed, but there's going to be a lane violation on that one.
And Cal, we should have we'll
have the final tomorrow.
Well, and Lafayette, who's the other semifinal game tonight?
Lafayette plays Douglas. That's going on at 7 also. If you want to click, I think that's also an NFHS net broadcast. Good point.
Both cameras will be going at both gyms.
That's at Great Crossing, so
yes.
you can see either game you want, depending on what your allegiances are. Skierman makes the third chance.
And then, of course, join us tomorrow, 2 o'clock, if Scott County is in the championship
Scott
game.
County is in it, we'll be here. DeFore for 3, in and out. Williams rebound, nope, steps.
Steps goal.
Clock stops with 4:42 remaining, 16-point game. Even if Scott County boys lose tonight, that game will be on NFHS, but we'll have the call assuming they win. And they'll play a team from Lexington. First time since 2009 that a Lexington team's been in the final. Tate's Creek did it that year. Great Crossing had a tough draw on the boys' side. They lost to Lafayette at the buzzer. As Ty Skierman and Neil Baker both had a shot at the end. Couldn't get it to fall. Skierman's went about halfway down. Emma Beam at the line for 2. Makes the first. There was a 1-on-1, excuse me. She cuts it to 15, not out of reach. If you know this great crossing team, you might roll your eyes when I say that, but it's the truth. Rebound of the miss by DeFore as Beam misses the second. DeFore with 44 points, gets it inside to
Beautiful
Tompkins.
pass.
Would have had an assist. Williams gets the rebound, puts it back with ease.
Yep.
Malaya with 24. And it's an 81-64 lead for Scott County. Still 4:12 to play. McMath for three. Yay, ooh, it looked good.
It looked good from here, didn't it?
Beam with a rebound off the back of the backboard, I think, but they didn't whistle.
Yeah, they're not going to. She was in such a bad shot situation, I'm not going to call that.
And McMath bumps DeFore. Kind of lucky that wasn't an intentional foul, I think. Didn't really go for the ball. That's the third on Braley. Stops the clock with 3:59. We're going to be in a double bonus situation both ways here pretty soon. That's the 9th foul on Great Crossing. So the next one will be 2 automatic. Under the 4-minute mark, Scott County looking to go 14-5 on the season. DeFore with 45.
45. With 4 minutes to go in the ball game.
I do have somewhere the record book for the Toyota Classic as she hits 46. I'm going to guess, I got to look at our advertising supplement, but I'm going to guess that is a record. Actually, I might even have the email from Sonny Denniston on my phone. I could probably look at it there. That's a miss by McMath and torn down by Tompkins, tied up with Barrett. It will stay with Great Crossing.
It's a good battle right there. Reagan Barrett and Kennedy Tompkins, they went at it.
Gotta like it. Clock stopped there, but now McMath looking, guarded closely, splits the defense, tried to get it to Timmy Williams behind the back over the shoulder, just couldn't make the connection. Scott County gets the ball back and a chance to go up 20 or more.
Can't let her catch that right there going in that direction.
46 points and counting, make it 48. Unbelievable. I've run out of superlatives. I have never seen, and I've got friends in Maine that I've told about Morgan DeFore, and I compare her to a girl that played up in the 1990s up there named Cindy Blodgett, who ended up in the WNBA. That's who Morgan DeFore's game reminds me of, and I don't think all the times I saw Cindy play over the years, she might not have gotten 50.
Right.
Morgan might get 50 tonight. Timmy Williams makes the first free throw. The clock keeps stopping, and that plays into Morgan's hands. Makes them both, does Timmy. 85-66. DeFore. Floater for 50. Yes.
50 piece.
50 boater for the Red Mamba.
I mean, she's not just got 50. She's got 50 on her crosstown rifle.
A game she will never forget. Three-pointer for Smith. Morgan DeFore, 50 points.
Fast.
Drive and dish to Tompkins. Tompkins in double digits. 89-69. 2:27 and counting. Now the question is, do they get to 100? Smith with a foot inside the arc, it's good.
Nice.
Rachel has 13 on the night. Morgan DeFore dribbles, shoots. Now she's just being silly. 52, 91-71. The greatest performance I have ever seen by a female high school basketball player. I'll say it. There's just no comparing this.
She's not.
54.
54.
I just can't even. I'm not cheering for either team. I've told Morgan DeFore she doesn't have many bigger fans than I am, and I mean it. I think
Coach Helton. I really do think he should get her out. Just to get. I mean, I don't think the people.
She deserves. She just high five Steve Helton. She is a bad woman. The clock has stopped as Reagan Barrett shoots free throws. Tyra Young will check into the game. 1:38 remaining. I'm going to say it has to be a Toyota Classic record. It's probably the girls and boys.
Yeah,
record.
I don't know if Yukari or
Nah.
you call her Rebecca Dyer. It's her married name. It was Rebecca
Gray.
Rebecca Gray. I don't know if she did 50 some or not. 50 piece is all you can say.
54. She's going for 56. Can she get the Larry Bird 60? Nope. She gives it up to Malaya, who gets the shooter's roll on the spin. Malaya has 26. Nothing to sneeze at. 95-73.
Okay, I hope you took the over.
Yes, I did. Barrett drives and gets fouled. All ones. Aces wild on the time clock.
I think everybody's sitting here going, what do you think she's got? Probably 35 or 40? I don't think anybody has any ideas that she's got 54.
She misses the free throw, does Reagan. Barrett makes the second. (95-74). DeFore gives it up to Tompkins for three.
And guess what?
KT puts it at 98.
KT rips one from deep.
Boom, Baba. And will they get to 100 as the rebound comes down to 4 up ahead to Tompkins? Yes.
There it is.
Century.
Loretta Hondo. Let her go.
Ball out of bounds to Scott County.
They hopefully, I will say, they're going to dribble this out. I got a bad thought in my mind. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope she does not.
We got Kansas and Kansas State.
Don't.
I think we're better than that here in Georgetown, Kentucky. In fact, I know we are. And Morgan's good enough not to shoot that ball there.
Yes, but believe me, behind her, Coach Helton was going, no.
Just an unbelievable effort, I will stand.
I know. You got to clap for that one. My goodness.
100-74, your final. Morgan DeFore with a Toyota Classic and interplanetary record, 54 points. Yeah,
you're playing the game. Yeah. Jeez, oh Pete. I think the silence between Cal and I right now is we're trying to both get our jaws up off the floor. I mean, that performance there.
Morgan DeFore, you know, since she came back to the team week 3, there was that little speed bump there, and she has done her talking on the court, and she has done it time and time and time again. That is the 6th time she has been over 30 points, but 34 was her career high until tonight.
See if they announce it.
I hope they announce the point total because that is on another level.
The recipient from Scott County, number 1.
Number 1 in your program, number 1 on the all-time list of Toyota Classic performers. 54 points, and rightfully so. The crowd and 11 assists.
She had 54 and 11.
54 and 11.
Have yourself
have
a
mercy.
night. That's right. Yeah, y'all better get on your feet for this girl.
My goodness. Well, I got to get down there and talk to a couple people. So we'll make this quick. Malaya Williams with 26. Kennedy Tompkins with 15. So that's 95 between those three. 95 points scored by three supremely talented basketball players.
As the trainers come out and wrap Morgan's arm with ice.
And the TV cameras are after her.
Yeah, definitely. You know what, as they should be, because it was done in a fashion that you can't even say, hey, she shot a lot, she was selfish, it was within the game.
Oh, 100%.
And done completely. I mean, it was done very well.
Special
Yes.
game by a special player. Last words from you, Derek Varney, before we sign off. Great one here. Hope you can be on the NFHS network for the boys semifinal next.
And please, if find out if Scott County wins their semifinal game tonight, and join us at 2:00 if they win for the championship game tomorrow. And as far as this one goes, it was everything I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that, but when you see a performance from a young lady or a young man or anybody as Morgan DeFore, it was just very special, and just a good night for both schools. It really was.
I said that's the best performance I've seen by a high school basketball player, and you don't need any gender qualifiers there, boy or girl. It does not matter. Morgan DeFore, she let them know she was here tonight. 100-74, Scott County wins the first Battle of the Birds. I want to thank the Scoggins. They're elsewhere tonight, but I want to thank them for all their support. I want to thank DT Wells, our man on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network, who's put all this together this year. We want to remind you that our Greens Toyota player of the game, of course, 54 points and 11 assists, Morgan DeFore. And that's about all we got to say about that, as Forrest Gump once.
Very special. Congratulations to her. Congratulations. Hats off to her.
Until tomorrow, hopefully, for Derek Varney and for that cast of many that we just mentioned, I'm merely Cal Oaks. Good night and God bless, everybody. We'll see you soon.
He